Welcome everybody to Extravagant Fragrances. I'm live. Just decided to just kind of do this on random. I need to get a new laptop, y'all. I'm not really crazy about this webcam. Um, just gonna kind of hang out here for a little bit until some people join. Hopefully, we've got some people coming in on the West Coast, so it'll probably be like what 9 o'clock p.m. on the West Coast. How's everybody doing out there? You guys see my Carolina Reaper in the background back there? This, well, up until just not too long ago, was the hottest pepper on the planet. Uh, wouldn't you know it? The hottest pepper in the world comes right here from the United States. I believe South Carolina. Zen Incense Shop. How you doing, buddy? How's everything? Just came in, got a little workout in, so endorphins are up. I'm feeling good. Got some kratom in the system. So if you are new here, go ahead and give a like. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Um, we can kind of make this into a Q&A as well. But yeah, my one of my biggest um, topics for today was supposed to be how to wear fragrance and also different moods and occasions. And I also wanted to throw in there different fragrances for different seasons. So, um, yeah, I just put some on like not too long ago, but one of the ways that I like to put on fragrance, um, over the past years, I find that when you put on when you put on the fragrance, the oil, and then you go straight like this, bam. I don't personally, I don't like to do it like that anymore, just because I don't feel that I'm getting the same experience as, let's say, someone around me. Um, the way a third party, you know, would be able to smell the fragrance. So, um, so I'll give you an example. Like if I like right now, I just put on this new import. This is a sample. I've got a whole bunch of samples that came in. That's like the perks of the business is you're always getting like free stuff. People sending you stuff. So this one is called 1,001 Arabian Nights. This is one of those high end imports that just came in. Some was it last week, and I've got maybe like 20 something different um, samples here. Three of which I have stocked. So we can kind of go through that as well. Let's do some reviews on that. But first, I want to talk about um, just some different ways you can put on fragrance. Some of the ways that I like to do it is like I was sitting here and I put it on. I put it right here on the wrist and I leave it. I don't. I don't go like this because I want to know if there's, for example, if you're around people, if you have company, or if there's someone in the area, you want to smell it how they smell it. So that's how I test a good fragrance. If I put it on my wrist, if I put it on my hand and just boom, just let it just sit there, I want that smell to kind of creep up on my nose. If it doesn't creep up on my nose, then I know it's not a good fragrance. That's just how. That's just my standard of how I judge a fragrance, right? Um, how does it project from my hands? And I've got kind of like long arms. You know what I mean? Look, So yeah, I want to be able to smell it how the next person around me is going to be able to smell it. So that's one way that I do it. And so we could talk about different pressure points. So just some different pressure points because fragrance works with your pheromones. You also want to put it in places where uh, you're going to have the most body heat, right? Um, so, for example, right here on your wrist, right? Right behind the ears, okay? Right behind your knees, uh, the neck. I don't personally like to put it on the neck. Sometimes I will. I'll put it right here on my wrist, and I'll do one of these numbers. Some of the brothers from overseas, I've even seen them where they'll put on the attar, and then they'll wipe it under the armpits, right? So those are some other areas. So fragrance, in some sense, can kind of also take the place of a deodorant. In some ways, there's some fragrances that go really well, that with your natural sweat, your natural chemistry, right? So yeah, I'm still trying to find this fragrance. It's called Zamarud. One of the Bangladeshi brothers, he was working with my brother, and he had some stuff from Bangladesh. And if y'all don't know, like the fragrance, like personal body industry, body oil industry here in the United States, the Bengalis run this industry. Like, I mean, I'm not saying nobody else is in this. Like the biggest market in this industry is the Black American community, right? Um, and I also know some big heavy hitters, distributors, wholesalers from among the Black American community who are really deep into the personal fragrance industry, right? Um, but on a larger scale, the Bengalis really like run a lot of stuff in this industry. So, anyways, this guy he brought some stuff from Bangladesh when he came back, and he said, "This is Zamarud." He put it on my brother, and it's just, I mean, the way this stuff just permeated the room. When you step in the room, it's just like it fumigates the whole room, and it's such a pure and natural smell. Very floral, and it's got some notes of musk, and it has um, it's just a real fragrant floral smell. I tried to get that fragrance, the Zamarud, from another manufacturer in India, and I don't know, he just seems a bit expensive. Even for, I mean, like I've got suppliers here whose some of like the fragrances are even actually a lot less expensive, and he explained that, well, it's because we're using more absolutes in our fragrance, um, whereas there's a lot of fragrances out there that aren't using as many absolutes, right? Which is basically the pure essential oil. Okay. Um, and then I don't know, like for example, like his Turkish rose smelled really like great. Like it had just a really natural smell to it. Like you really felt like you're like in a rose garden, you know. But then like when I smelled his white oud, it smelled like kind of smelled like it would belong in a in like a detergent or something like that, you know. And that's why I have that white oud, but I'm just not really too proud about it. Just never put it on the website. But the Turkish rose was really good. I wish it was a little stronger. That was really good. So I'm just debating on whether I want to pick some of that up. I have a local customer who's been asking for the Turkish rose, but it's just a bit expensive. It's a bit expensive you know for the sillage and the loudness of it, if that makes any sense. So I don't know, but let's talk about the new fragrances I got. So we talked about how to put on these fragrances, and to basically do a sort of like self projection when you're wearing it, so kind of like how to judge the fragrance you're wearing. Um, A lot of the heavy musks are really good for the winter time, and so that brings to mind some of the new others that I got. So, like I was saying in the last video, that I was going to be focusing a lot on bringing in a lot of the uh, more premium fragrances, since I was going to be doing more of a retail type of business model on the website. And so the the one fragrance I picked up was the imported 1 million. That was from France. There's another French 1 million that I had that I really wish I could get my hands on that, and I've gone to the point of actually buying from another supplier to see if that was the same 1 million that I have. Uh, because the new 1 million that I have, it's good. It's definitely a step up from like the domestic stuff. The new imported 1 million from France that I just recently got, I got quite a bit of it. Um, but it's like the domestic 1 million on steroids. That's how I can explain that 1 million. But the prior 1 million that I got pre-pandemic, um, it was just, man, I don't know like who made that fragrance in France, but that one was really it was really strong. Now they both have their own merits. These two different 1 millions. The new one that I have, it's a good one. I've gotten lots of compliments on it. I'm happy with it. Uh, but like I said, like the other 1 million that I have, I'm really trying to get my hands on that because it was actually less expensive, and it just, I don't know, it just had like a deeper strength to it. I'm trying to just find words to express how I felt about that fragrance, and that's what it's about. It's about your feelings when it comes to fragrance. It's about your feelings. It's about emotion. You know, um, yeah. I'm trying to hunt that fragrance down. Hence the topic. Fragrance treasure hunt. Because like I said, it was less expensive than the 1 million that I have now, and I just couldn't believe how inexpensive it was. And this was actually from a supplier who he just stopped answering calls. Right now, you know, even some of the big suppliers in this industry are contracting. So for those of you who are actually in this business, who run stores personally, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your business. Everybody has their own business model. But I'll tell you what I'm doing is I am focusing a lot on acquiring as much and as many bottles as I can, as much supplies as I can, um, because it's just being able to secure bottles right now and guarantee that you're going to be able to get them from 1 month to the next. It's just kind of all over the place right now. There is a disruption going on. So right now I'm just focused on getting as many bottles as I can, um, and keep bringing that premium, since fragrance is very stable now. It's still stable, very stable as far as pricing goes. Um, Keith, you're switching most of your oils to sprays. Are you in the business? I'm curious. Insights, man. Uh, Let me know. Uh, so what was I saying? So yeah, so I got that new 1 million. It's good. I've got compliments from that. By the way, like the 1 million, it it is a good. Uh, Personally, I think that fragrance should be unisex. I've had people say no, it smells too masculine, because it is a men's fragrance. But I actually found out from the the original 1 million. I very first found out about that uh, from a woman at Sephora, and she was wearing it, and I got a sample of it, and that's how I found out. And lo and behold, there actually are a lot of females that actually wear 1 million as well. Um, that's cool, Keith. That you how do you implement the fragrance into your business? So you just like outright sell it, at the end of your dealing with your customer, or because I got a friend back in San Diego. He runs like a big time barbershop, man. And I remember when he first started, and he wanted to implement the oils into like the creams and stuff like that. Um, I don't know if he did it or not, but he was trying to make like some kind of like shaving creams or something like that, and use them on his customers. Walaikum salam, brother. How you doing? Um, so yeah, that's the scoop on the 1 million. I've got quite a bit of that. I'm trying to get the gems here. I've got one customer. He refers to the imports as gems. He said, "Keep those gems coming," and I agree with him. You know, um, nice. That's cool, man. Keith. Everybody. It's all about having a system, man. Um, I used to do that back in the day when I would go to the gym. I was working as a personal trainer. I'd hit up the juice bars at the gym, and especially in the gym that I was at back in San Diego. It was a large upscale, Hispanic community, and everybody coming to the car, everybody coming to the gym with fancy new cars and stuff like that, and so it did really well, believe it or not, on the having that little small rack on the juice bar, because in the juice bar, you'll be able to have like they would sell like soap for the showers, and bath towels and stuff like that. Um, and so the guys that would get done with the racquetball court, they go shower and they'd grab some of the body oils, and it really actually started to catch on. I appreciate that, brother. Um, so Keith, you selling them to the ladies, or are you doing a mix of men and women's? So yeah, so let's talk about the new fragrances I got in. So one of the main ones that I got in, this one is it had a pretty price tag to it, which was the Geelaf. I messed up the spelling on the website. It's Geelaf E Kaba, and I believe that means shroud of the Kaaba. But that one is nice. I actually back to the treasure hunt. Like I was trying to acquire this fragrance uh for since probably like 2015, and my supplier didn't quite understand exactly what I wanted because he sent it to me as a sample, and then when I asked about the sample, he forgot what he sent me, and then so he's like, "Yeah, I think it's this one." So he sent me a different McCulloch that wasn't what I got from him from the first time. So here we are in 2021. I finally acquired this fragrance from him, and it's amazing. It's an amazing fragrance. I'm trying to get my hands on fragrances uh, that do well with aging. So that's going to be fragrances like that have like oud in them, and also sandalwood. Sandalwood does great with age as well. Um, so Geelaf E Kaba is a very nice fragrance, very unique. Um, I'm just in love with that fragrance. I'm just so glad to finally have that in my inventory. It's got oud, it's got sandalwood, it's got saffron, and it's got what's the other note in there? Oud, saffron, sandalwood, and rose. That's it. So that's on the website. I think I spelled it Gilab E Kaba. I messed that up. Okay, so let's hear. We got some questions. That Prince of Real Estate. Has anyone heard from the brother who called himself Professor Smellgood? Yeah, he's back. I think he's back there in North Carolina still. I haven't talked to him in a while. I believe he's still at it, man. He's still in the game. Uh, I have not actually smelled that black opium. I gotta get. I gotta see if I can get some of that. Red Egyptian parasol for men or my green Irish tweed. Yep, I'd like to smell green Irish tweed as an import. Because I know it's out there, but I'd like to get some of that. You said it's highly slept on. Okay, I'm taking notes already. Definitely taking notes. So okay, so the second fragrance that I just got is gonna be uh woody oud, and I know it just you know I don't know I probably should rename that fragrance, but it just I don't know it just kind of sounds kind of corny like Woody Oud. It's just it almost sounds like Toy Story or something like like the little cowboy doll. But it's a really good fragrance. If you're into like the Oud edition, Woody Oud is really nice. When I first smelled that fragrance, I smelled it. The one brother had it on as a spray, and it smelled like the way it just filled up the room. It smelled like a high end, expensive oud, and it's not. It's not really an expensive oud. And that was in the spray. And it's just like the artwork on that bottle, like the original. I don't know. I think it just the artwork kind of does it injustice. I think the artwork on the bottle could be a lot better for the original fragrance. But I picked that fragrance up, so that's on stock. Um, when I'm at the masjid, brothers are praying. I know I'm supposed to be focusing on my salat, but you can't help but to notice brothers doing one of those. When they're next to you, taking a whiff. uh, so that's kind of the I'm just I'm listening. I'm listening to people and seeing the reactions and also like the compliments people are giving on that fragrance. So Woody Oud already is a hot. That's a really good gem. Um, the if you're into the ouds that are more on the sweeter side, that's going to be it. Um, And then the next one that I got that I had been kind of not really paying attention to for a while is the Oudh Shayooki. That one right there. When I first smelled that oud, it when you first put it on, it just has like this raspy, like barnyardish kind of. It kind of grabs you. When it dries down and mellows out, and you come back to it, uh, it smells like a really it has that high end smell to it. It has the high end oud smell to it. So the Oudh Shayooki is really good. And again, like I said, when I put that on, I'll kind of just put it on the wrist, keep it away from my nose. I'll just like this, pop that sucker off, put it on, and just leave it. Just try that next time you want to test a fragrance. Put it on like that because it's going to have a different. Uh, it's going to have a different smell to it versus putting it on and then bam, throwing it straight in your face like this. You know what I mean? Uh, so let's read what we got here in the comments. I'm the Oud master. Nobody knew about Oud in my area before I introduced it. The deer musk, brother. Um, the problem with deer musk is that unless you are making it or you buy it off of somebody who made it, you know, the deer musk it can be a tough one because you really have no way of knowing if it's legit or not. I mean, you will go on. Let's say, for example, you'll go on eBay, you'll see deer musk for high prices, and then you'll see somebody else in another country selling deer musk for chump change. You know, uh, I have seen one guy's. What's the brother's name? He actually makes deer musk. The way to go about it is to actually get the pods, right? The deer musk pods, and emacerate it, right? And I saw the one brother. What's that YouTube channel's name? Ensar Oud, right? And he actually put it. He used sandalwood. Um, he let it sit in that he let it sit in the sandalwood um, oil, and the key to a good deer musk is letting it sit and just letting it age for a couple years, a few years, right? Now I do get like the Musk KL, for example. I'm told it does have real deer musk in it. Does it? Is it real deer musk? Allah knows best. Uh, However, I think it's good. I mean, especially like I use it in mucullets. I've smelled some deer musks that just smell just kind of has a just a real almost like a fecal matter smell to it. But when you use deer musk as a base note, it's amazing. It's an amazing base note. It's like patchouli, for example, or the barnyard oud. You know, uh, when you use them as base notes for perfume making or in mucullets, you can't go wrong. It's all about how do you use that and blend it. You know, personally, like the deer musk, I think it's amazing. If you're doing blends or mucullets, that's like key for doing a good mulcullet is to have the loud barnyard stuff, the loud notes, the bass notes, you know, and then having your really good, the floral notes and stuff like that in there. Uh, yeah, that woody oud is amazing stuff, brother. Keith said white oud, Kalimat, oud absolute, amber oud are my favorite. You know what? I just actually, believe it or not, I actually ordered a small bottle of the Kalimat because I want to smell that fragrance because I think I remember smelling that. Uh, there was this one brother in the masjid, and it just lit the whole masjid up. I mean, this stuff was I had never smelled anything like it. Um, and so I'm hoping that is what I remember him saying that it was. I think he told me at that time that it's Kalimat, but I've never smelled an attar like that since that day. Um, Sultan Gulf. What is the Sultan Gulf? Um, Amir Oud, Shea Oud. Yep, Shea Oud is no doubt, without a doubt, a winter wear. You know what else is a good winter wear? And I always say this is the Jannat Firdos. Um, Opium, frankincense. Those are also good winter wears. The heavy stuff, just very nice and crisp during the winter. Hindi oud, Cree Viking mixed is a beast. Subhanallah. Yeah, man, I love it, man. Ru al Musk by Surati. Ru al Musk, super musky. Ansar Oud. Ansar Oud, man. What do you guys think of that channel? I think it's pretty neat, man. Watching this guy, break stuff down. Like, he's got his own labs and stuff like that. Um, and brother be having like wood chips in the bathtub, soaking them and stuff like that. I mean, this guy gets really deep into it. Uh, I heard about one brother back in San Diego. There was a group of brothers at the masjid. They actually went to this brother's house. I think he lived like downtown San Diego. They said, I mean, and this guy was like really big with the oud and the like legit real deer musks and stuff like that. And they said when they went in this brother's house, man, this brother had a piece. right on the table. He had you know, I mean, because of the amount of inventory he had in his house, like he had to have some security. I could only imagine. They said when they went in his house, um, it looked like a museum. And that's what they said. And he had like beakers and all kinds of stuff. You know, they said this guy's house looked like a museum. Uh, but yeah, this guy, he would buy the oud chips and he would distill it down. He would like, you know, break this stuff down in his own place, and he'd mark it up at a high cost. Actually, uh, it's hard to balance deer musk. It's funky, but if you mix it right, it can hit. But it's got to be toned down. You know what? I agree with that. I've tried that once with. I had some real funky deer musk that somebody gave to me as a gift, and I mean it was like sticky, you know. You know how stuff sits for a while and around the threading of the bottle starts to get a little sticky. It was like that, and I had some of that. I had some white oud. No, not white oud. It was what was it was a type of white oud. Was it the oud amani? I had some of that, and I had some of uh, the what's the name of this fragrance? It was a very floral fragrance. The something salt al Arab. Very fragrant. If you're into like 1,000, was it 1,000 flowers? It's kind of along those lines. Very similar. And so I've got some salt al Arab. I got that duplicated through France, and it actually smelled a lot better than what I got from Saudi Arabia, and it smelled stronger. I had some of that fragrance. The vendor stopped reaching, he stopped answering my emails and stuff like that, cut off communication. I don't know what really happened, and so I still had some left, and I wanted to keep that fragrance because it's an amazing fragrance for mukullets, especially if you're looking for a very floral note in there. But yeah, the deer musks, they do good in the mukullets. Um, Obviously the ouds, but you got to have those florals in there. If you want to have an amazing mukkullet, you gotta have those floral notes in there. You know, also a really good rose, man. You know, that's another I've noticed with the mukkullet. Was it the Al Haramain fragrances? They're big on the roses in their mukullets. Zen Red Musk is great. Indian Red Musk is one of the best. Yeah, yeah, that Indian Red Musk. Sometimes I'm in the mood for that. You know, it's I don't know about you, Zen Incense Shop, but that one has some patchouli notes in it. I don't know if you can smell that in there, but yeah, um, I'm spelling it wrong. But what do you think of that? Oh, you mean the Majmua? It's let me see, it's spelled like this, Majmua. Majmua. If I'm correct, I believe the Majmua's got some uh, vetiver. As a matter of fact, I had a supplier, one of my suppliers, he sent me some like real vetiver, and there was a there was a another supplier that was doing the vetiver, but they kind of like lost their quality, and I know it was not authentic. I could just tell. I mean, like just the way it wears off. Because I there was this one doctor that I met at the masjid one time, and he had some. They call it kus, right? That's the other term for it. It's kus. But he had some with him, and I mean, when I say this stuff looked like syrup, it was like sap. It was like tree sap. He took it out. He just put a little dot on my hand, and that stuff just stayed on me forever. Um, and so you know, it's been a while since I've actually smelled a vetiver of that strength. But let me see. See, I've got some little bit here. I just know that one of my suppliers is the vetiver he's got it's expensive. It's like it's like 3 grand for a pound, I believe. $3,000 a pound. And it's like $800 for 100 ml. Let's see. I believe I just picked it up. Oops. Yeah. So he named it. Ru Al Kus or Kus, but there it is. I mean, you can kind of see it's got a little, you know, viscosity to it. And this right here, I mean, if you smell this, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I can, I can see how that's in the Majmua. Yeah, it's a very, it's a very grassy fragrance, but it's nice though. I like it. It's got that very like importy smell to it. What are some of y'all's favorite imports? How you all hanging there with the weather? It was snowing yesterday. Um, Also, for the vendors out there, have you all been able to stock up on your items? And like I don't just mean items for your business because there is a supply chain disruption going on right now. Uh, so I've been doing things like getting quality things that I know I'm going to need, right? Like, so I got a good winter jacket I just picked up. Um, you know, I need to get some good boots. Um, what else? Like, if you need car parts, get them. Like, if you didn't get your winter tires yet, try to get the winter tires. I actually talked to this guy. Uh, he was like in charge of a distribution center uh, for tires that supplies Pennsylvania, but also West Virginia. And his company does really well with like buying ahead of time. He's like, we're more ahead than everybody else is right now. He's like, but if you didn't get your tires, you should get your tires right now. If you're on the West Coast, you probably don't have to worry about it. But us here on the East Coast, you know, if you don't have good tires in the wintertime, it's kind of handicapped. It's kind of handicaps you, you know. So yeah. But anyways, yeah, the Mezcal Tejada is really good. Um, um, Fawaki. Fawaki is good too, but you know what? I'm really picky with Fawaki as far as who makes it because I smelled two different Fawakis and from two different suppliers, and there's only one supplier that I would buy that from. But it's just I don't know if it's just like a mind, my mind playing tricks on me. But because I smelled it from a supplier whose his Fawaki I didn't really like the smell of it. The other Fawaki that I smelled from the other better supplier, I don't know. I just didn't really get super excited. I mean, it was good. It's good quality. I just didn't have a really big impact on me. Dua Al Jannah. It's uh, definitely an imported smelling fragrance. One of those. The Dua Al Jannah kind of reminds me of like you go into like you know how you go to the masjid and they got the little attar section in the masjid, like where all the hadith books and stuff are at, and you see the oils on the top. Uh, you'll have a few brothers that will bring their stuff from overseas, or they'll donate it to the masjid. For some reason, Dua al Jannah is like one of those others that always ends up on the masjid shelf. That's what that reminds me of. It's good. It's light. It's very it has a very distinct smell to it. The Himalayan musk. I have not smelled that. Is that basically a spin-off of the Creed, the Creed Himalayan? Um, Golden Sand is a headbuster year round. Yep, Golden Sand is. I've met brothers that are like their wives will not let them go out the house with that on. They're like, no. Same with Miskal Tahara. Miskal Tahara some fitna. you know, Especially when there's not whole lot of people that know it or wear it. Fawaki Twist. Yeah, I haven't smelled Fawaki Twist, but I've seen that. I saw that name. Musk Amber by Nimat. Musk Amber. Is that okay? The Musk Amber, is that the really thick, just very musky? How some of the ambers are kind of like light and thick, and they don't have a real like heavy musky smell to it. There was an amber from Nimat that's very dark. Is that it? Is that the Musk Amber? Because they also have one. It's called uh, Black Amber. Um, tell me which one. Tell me which one, if you know what I'm talking about, brother, of the Nimat, because I'm trying to acquire that again, because I want to use it in the Mukullet. I think that's going to make a good Mukullet blend. That really it smells almost. I know it sounds bad, but it almost had like a kind of like a little bit of funk to it, if you know what I mean, right? Uh, Golden Sand Oud. Hello, my friend. I'm doing this. Uh, the love of FG. Um, yeah. So the three new fragrances that came in, and my favorite out of all three. I mean, they're all great. They're all great fragrances, but my favorite one is the Geelaf E Kaba, which means shroud of the Kaaba, and that one it's got oud, it's got uh, saffron, it's got rose, and it's got sandalwood in it. It's really nice. Um, they call it amber liquid now. The Prince of Real Estate. So is that the heavy musky one? It's like really dark in color. Like if you put it in a glass bottle, a clear bottle, you'll be able to see it's very dark. Is that what it is? Because if that's what it is, I'm gonna have to get some of that. Shams Al Oud is a good import, but the one I really like is hard to find. Yeah, don't you hate it when you can? It's like hard to find certain fragrances that you get obsessed about, like kind of like that 1 million, the other 1 million that I tried pre-pandemic. Um, Muscat Tahara is almost invisible, so like yeah, Muscat Tahara is one of those fragrances that is definitely, it can be loud, but it's still light. It's it's not an obnoxious fragrance. Mecca Musk Gold is him has but slept on. Yeah, that is a slept on one. However, I've never smelled the import version. I've only smelled the domestic stuff. Prince of Real Estate. Okay. Does it have that really like importy smell to it? Um yeah, I just don't want to blind buy and end up with something else. Then what is the what's the black amber then that they have? Do you have that one though? The one that I'm talking about, the real musky heavy one? It's loud. It's a loud amber. and it's like almost spicy. It has like a little spiciness to it. Yeah. So where's everybody from here? Who's in what states? Some Indian black amber is solid chunks. Japanese anatomical minerals samples. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you got the Geelaf E Kaba coming, along with the Japanese amber and the tonka bean and everything else. The Geelaf E Kaba is in your box. Don't worry. The black amber you're talking about smells like Bakor. Okay, Keith, man, you're on it. You're on it, man. The love of FG. Is that the love of FG as in fragrance? No problem. By the way, those 100 ml bottles, people were buying those up since, I don't know, you started like a trend. But yeah, people are buying those up lately. Maryland, you got Maryland, North Carolina, California. Nice. Okay. Love of God. I respect that. I'm here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's starting to chill off out here. So, but anyway, does anybody have any like suggestions for new videos? I'm just kind of compiling this all together. I don't do videos often, but when I do them, sometimes I get on these like long bouts of just spitting out videos one after the other, and then I'll kind of fall off for a while. And so here it's just like I'm kind of like compiling everything. You're in Michigan. How's Michigan? I got a friend out near that way. He says you guys have harsh winters out there. He said like when you're out in the height of the winter, he said like the wind, it's like a knife on the face, like it like cuts you. He said, is that true, or how are things out that way? I know North Carolina is a treat right now. North Carolina is always nice. Prince of Real Estate. You say you've been wearing the Indian sandalwood. Nice. Yeah, it's like I'm trying to get some other new fragrances. Especially, I want to get that Nemat dark amber, that dark colored amber. I haven't had that one in a while. Cold and rainy up in Michigan. Yeah, Prince of Real Estate. Yeah, honestly, I don't think I know anybody that does too many lives on YouTube in the fragrance community, but on Instagram I think there's a lot of people that do lives on those. Like what was it like Harry the Hustler, Wholesale Harry. He's he's into like the sprays in the flea markets. That guy, and he kills it every time in the flea markets up there in New Jersey. Yeah, he does lives on Instagram quite frequently. Um, I've noticed the reels are a big thing now because since you got TikTok and all this stuff, um, Instagram's starting to go into reels as well, like little short videos. I still haven't quite figured out how to mess around with the short videos here. I'm wondering how that would do for the channel. Um, does anybody, while I'm here, does anybody, we can kind of use this as a little network discussion as well. Feel free for anybody here that wants to network. Does anybody know anything about paid ads, or know anybody that knows how to do paid ads well? Uh, it's just in this industry, it can be a bit tricky. I've done paid ads here on like YouTube before, and they did well in the beginning, and then they like fell off. I need to talk to someone who knows about it, you know, how to do that kind of thing, especially like Facebook marketing and Instagram marketing. The Dior leather oud. If not, I'll send you a sample when I get a spray. A decent bottle from you. Okay, no problem. I've never smelled the Dior leather oud. What I would like to smell though is the Dior Sauvage as an import. That would be nice. That'd be real nice. Prince of Real Estate. Okay, cool. You do ads for real estate. Um, yeah, it's just the thing is with fragrance, man. It's especially this kind of industry is very niche. You know what I mean? It's not like like the original designers like fragrances that you just post a picture and you just turn on your marketing budget and just scale it. You know, um, I'm just for the past few years I've been just really just thinking like how can I uh, just having them in like the regular imported bottles, how can I captivate an audience? I mean, outside of doing, lives and YouTube videos and stuff like that. I've tried it, man. I've tried it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not throwing enough money at it. Who knows? I had one guy from New York, and he he was saying that he thinks it could be really good to do the ads that he wanted, but the quote that he wanted on the paid ads, it was expensive. I'm not gonna lie. I wish, honestly, I used to do Etsy, right? And I used to do Google ads. And I liked it because, and that's what I'm really trying to find something like that. But Etsy had something where you can turn on an ad campaign. You can say how much money you wanted to spend every day. You could get insights onto, it will show you impressions, who's looking at the product, how many people are clicking on it, how many people are buying it, right? And um, then it would show you the rest of the products that are not even getting looked at, right? You'll be able to get those insights. And so believe it or not, patchouli was like, it was high on the list. Like I was selling so much patchouli, it wasn't even funny. Like, and I was like, wow, nobody wants the frankincense incense, right? you know, uh, where's what's his name? Zen Incense Shop. I think you're on Etsy, right? Have you done any paid ads on Etsy? So that's what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to if there's some kind of system or it was like some kind of there needs to be some kind of like plug and play type of ad campaigns for everyone in the industry, right? Because the way it's set up now, it's like if you want to run it like Google Ads, you got to talk to a Google Ad expert, and then like they do something where they set you up and they plug in the words and all that stuff. And for some people, it works really well. Personally, for me, I need something more user friendly. I need to be able to look in there and say, oh, okay, people are clicking on that. People want this. This is selling more. Okay, so let me just scale it up a couple bucks a day extra. Something that is just plug it straight up and run with it. Um, I think Facebook ads will be good. Prince of Real Estate, I've done Facebook ads, but I'll be honest with you, man. I think you're right. The interacting with customers will be a great ROI. I agree with that because so far like doing lives on Facebook and stuff like that have actually done better than any paid ad campaign that I've ever done on Facebook. Lives inviting people on the channel to talk about fragrance. It's a guy named Archie Luxury. He makes 500 plus every night going live. Oh wow, that's not the guy. That's not the guy that does the scent box, is it? Is that the same dude? Um, wow. So what like exactly what does he do when he goes live? I'm curious. Uh, Zen Instant Shop. I've never done paid ads on Etsy, but my price is also so rock bottom because I still have to have the two 10,000 stick box. Yeah, Instant Shop. You should maybe look into that, man. The paid ads. You know, Prince of Real Estate. He does watches. Okay, okay, I see. I saw these watches out on Instagram the other day, and I think it was like the rapper Jay Z was like wearing it, and this watch was like millions of dollars or something like that. And I'm like, and it looked like I'm sorry, this watch looked like somebody like it came out of a bubblegum machine. I would never spend that much money on a watch. It looked like plastic. It was like green, and it had like Then I saw one other watch. It didn't have any digits on it. It didn't have any digits. I don't even think it had dots on it to let you know, like where what time it was. Um, he talks about watches and people leave. That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look back into that because I know the Facebook lives are pretty good. You know, the Movado. What's the Movado? It's that one damn dot. Like, come on, man. I don't know. I just think there comes a point where it's like, where you start where you want to be so like far into the art and fashion of it that you start to lose the functionality of it, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I can't get with it, man. I'm a simple dude. Give me some digits. Put some digits on there so I can set it. Um, but yeah. Um, so anyways, well, it's starting to get late, you guys. I need to I need to hit the bed. Um, yeah. But anyways, I really appreciate you all's interaction tonight and for participating in the live stream. It's about oils, and it's not a lot of people who wear them. I talk about oils, man, because I love them, man. I uh, I grew up with the oils. One thing I like to do with like my nieces and nephews, especially like the really, really, really young ones, like my baby nephew or my baby niece. Um, I always when they're young, I always make it a habit of putting fragrance in front of their nose. There was a French perfumist. He says if you can introduce fragrance uh to people when they're young, he says then they're your customers for life. So that's what I like to do. Kids, whenever I see kids, boom, hey, smell this. Go in the masjid, see little kids running around. Hey, have some of this. And they turn out to love it. And that's what happened to me when I was a kid. Is there was an area of the city. It got regentrified now, but there was one area of the city. It was like it was known for street vendors, and people would go out there. Some people didn't even have tables; they would just have a rug, and they just spread the rug out right on the ground, put the merchandise, some of the guys that were making incense, um, they'd make the incense. They didn't even have Ziploc bags. They'd put it right in aluminum foil and wrap it up. Some guys would be out there selling like silver jewelry and stuff that they got from New York. Then you had the guys selling the body oils, and some of the brothers, they would be burning the incense right on the street, and that's how I got introduced to it. And then my parents, they always had body oils and they always had incense burning in the house. My mom, she loves incense. When I tell you she loves incense, I mean, she will smoke you out of the house. Like when she burns incense, she really burns incense. She'll like light like 5 or 6 of them at the same time. And so she's a real avid incense user. So yeah, when I say I grew up around incense and oils, I definitely grew up around them. You know, and she would use candles. She would use candles as incense holders. All right, that goes to show how much she loved incense. Um, have I heard of the Agar Ara Middle Eastern brand? Agar Ara. Founder of brand picks his own oud, the purest, and his prices are super high. SubhanAllah. Agar Ara. I don't know if I don't know about that one, but I'm gonna tell you one thing you all should check out that I was really impressed actually. Is Arabian. It's they're incense sticks that are made of oud, and it's called Arabian oud incense sticks, and it's kind of like a dark bluish box. It's about a box about that big, and they're not cheap. There's only maybe like 10 sticks in there or so, and one little box is like 20 something dollars. Um, like over 100 ml, 25 ml bottles, samples percent to me. I'll send you a link to his videos. Oh wow, $100,000 for 25 ml bottles. Wow, yeah, I believe that. And to be honest with you, when it comes to authentic ouds, that's actually, I mean, he's actually, I think, being generous because I've seen 3 mls go for over 1,000. You know, which brand other have you used the most? Abdul Samad, Abdul Al Quraishi, Abdul Al Faransi, and my son Anthony. My son Anthony, is that the French brother overseas or Arabian oud? Uh, I would probably say I've used. I don't think I've used any of these the most, but I have used some of these before. Like I've 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 tried the Arabian oud. Abdul Samad Qureshi is really good. He always has good stuff. But I've noticed, is it me or does he like not do anything in bulk? All of his fragrances are like prepackaged in bottles, but his quality is out of sight. Really, really top quality stuff. Um, my son Anthony, is a French brother, I believe. He's got some pretty interesting stuff. He's up here on YouTube as well. But yeah, I really appreciate his passion for the industry. He's like really, really into it, you know. Good question. But yeah. Anyways, all right, everybody. We're coming up on an hour now. Any questions, comments, suggestions? Leave them in the comments section. Even after this video ends, I appreciate all you all's feedback. And Prince of Real Estate, I'll definitely take your advice on that and start pushing for more live streams. So Amber Musk by Abdul Samad Qureshi. Yeah, all of Abdul Samad Qureshi stuff is really good quality. I don't think I've smelled anything of his that's not good. Okay, inshallah. All right, everybody. Checking out. Inshallah, I will see all of you soon. And take everybody. Get some good rest. Talk to you soon. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.